Man, Atari has been trying real hard lately to sell me a watch, and I think they're getting closer. Would you pay $80 to play Atari 2600 games on your wrist at a moment's notice? Well, Atari is hoping you will with their second and now less expensive themed wristwatch. Hey there, welcome back to GenXGrownUp. I'm John, and I am a GenXGrownUp. Now, you likely remember that limited edition $500 Asteroids watch from just a couple of months ago. Something that, while I thought was beautiful, I certainly couldn't justify the expenditure, so I had to experience the pointy end of FOMO with everybody else. However, Atari has come back with a much less expensive and much more whimsical timepiece now with the Atari 2600 My Play watch. And by whimsical, I mean it can actually be used to play games. Now, this thing is a smartwatch, but it has no Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, so it's not connected to your phone, but it does have other standalone smartwatch features that I'll talk about in just a second. Now, Atari is spinning this it never updates so it's never obsolete thing with the not connecting, but keep in mind that also means it never updates so the software will never change either. It won't get better or add games or anything. It is going to be a product you buy, and the product you get is what it shall always be. Which is not necessarily a bad thing. We're talking about a stylish Atari-themed watch that you wear that you can play games on. So, let's talk about the design really quick. It is a 2-inch, just over 2 inches, TFT touchscreen. Got a metal bezel. It's IP68 rated for water and dust resistance, of course. Now, here's the cool thing. The crown and the button have been customized to look and feel like classic buttons on a controller. And most importantly of all of this, I think the coolest feature of the whole thing is that the crown on the side, like how you would set the clock or go into settings, that can be rotated and used like a paddle controller for games that would use a paddle, of which there are 2. Speaking of the games, let's talk about what you can play. Now, for paddle control with that little spinning crown, Pong and Super Breakout. Now, this is considered an Atari 2600 watch, so I'm guessing these are versions of the 2600 game. There's no Pong. Of course, this could be the Pong extracted from Video Olympics. I'm sure that's what it probably is. And Super Breakout, of course, maybe superior to the original Breakout in several ways, but a really good version of Breakout. And with a paddle controller on your wrist, pretty good. Also included the other 2, Missile Command and Centipede. Now, I'm not sure how those will work. Let's talk about more of that in a second. Other features include a fitness tracker, heart rate monitor, step counter, calorie counter, stuff like that. Also, throughout the watch, they say Atari 2600 sound effects are used for all sorts of stuff, like alarms and timers and alerts, and I guess every noise probably is a noise sample from a 2600 game. Now, again, no connection to anything also means that none of the info collected by the watch, like steps, calories, whatever, well, they're trapped in the watch. So, while they're nice to have features, usefulness is limited because you can't upload that data in any other fitness aggregation software. So that's a limited use to me, I think. It's almost like a Pebble or a Fitbit back in the day. You know, it's just all in the watch and that's what you get. Now, of course, if you're buying this watch, it's probably not because it's tracking your heart rate, but because you want to play games on it. And so what about the actual playability of those games with one finger? Now, Pong and Breakout, that's easy. Look, the watch is on your wrist and you're turning it, turning the little crown with that. I can see that great, but Centipede? Missile Command? I mean, they do show Centipede on screen and you can see like a little virtual joystick for the touchscreen. I've had mixed results with touchscreens to play any sorts of games, and of course you need a fire button too, so do I need to move on the screen and touch the button for fire? I don't know. We'll see, but yeah, it's a watch that has 4 different bands that you can put on it. They're interchangeable, all Atari designs, really cool. To look at, still not sure. What are your thoughts on this latest wearable offering from Atari? Look, at $80, it's much more accessible to a much wider audience. And also, I haven't seen any mention of a limited run, so that's nice. So not that kind of panicked rush to get one or people scalping them or anything, hopefully. So, of course, I will link to the page on Atari.com in the description if you want to learn more, or maybe pull the trigger on one if you're ready. Meanwhile, links to previous Atari news I've covered here and here. I certainly hope you found something to enjoy in this quick update. Can't wait to talk to you again next time. Bye-bye.